Before we get started, thank you for coming tonight. March 16th Village Council meeting. We will start with a prayer from Pastor Steve Ayers of Life Connect Church and Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, again, we just thank you as we can gather as a community. Lord, give us all wisdom and guidance as we move forward with our community. Give us wisdom and guidance as we move forward in our lives that is connected to you. Continue to help us to see you in the right manner as Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Lord, I thank you for the leaders that we have here. Lord, just light the way and light the path so that we can be servants of you. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know we have Tony here this evening, and also Avery will not be here, so we'll start roll call, please, Cheryl.
Donwick. Here. Bassett.
Here.
Zedek.
Here.
Valena.
Here.
Miller.
All right, next on the agenda, we have a special guest, Erin Strasball. She is running for the Defiance County Probate and Juvenile Court. Erin, you want to step up to the podium?
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Erin Strasball, and I am running for the judge of the Juvenile and Probate Court in Defiance County. So I'll be on the ballot in May. I'm sorry, not May. There is no ballot in May. In March. I'm sorry, May. It is May.
May.
Sorry, May 5th. I don't know why I thought I said March, and then May 5th, I'll be on the primary ballot. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to introduce myself so you could put a face with the name. I've been practicing law for 23 years in the Defiance area, the surrounding smaller counties. I've done a general civil practice and done lots of work in the probate court and the juvenile court over the years. Presently, I am the magistrate in Williams County, and I'm already in the probate and juvenile divisions. So I'm already hearing cases and issuing decisions in the probate and juvenile areas. So I think that experience will help me make a smooth transition to the bench after the election. So I would be happy to answer any questions for you. I live in Defiance. I've been a Defiance County resident my whole life, I guess with the exception of my schooling. I went to Ohio State for undergrad and for law school. I went to the University of Toledo, and I have 2 children. They're both teenagers, so extra prayer for me there. I've got a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old, and one will be graduating this year, and then my daughter will be a sophomore starting next year. So I'm passionate about the juvenile and probate work, working with the kids, working with the elderly that come to the point in their life where they, might need some assistance with maybe a guardianship or otherwise. So I hope that the village entities in Hicksville have a good relationship presently with the probate and juvenile court, and if elected, I hope to continue that good relationship. My father is the current probate and juvenile judge, so you might recognize the name, but he's going to be retiring. He's probably doesn't want me to tell you this, but he's aging out, and so he can't run for the next term, so there is an open seat, and that's why I'm running. I work in Williams County because he's the sitting judge here, and there's a conflict of interest for me to practice in front of him. So, again, just wanted to introduce myself. I appreciate you having me. I'll answer any questions that you might have, and otherwise I'll let you get to your business. So, thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Erin? Well, Erin, thank you for coming tonight. Good luck on your campaign.
Thank you so
We
much.
wish you well, and I'm sure we'll see you around. Thank you. Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, next on the agenda, we have representatives from the Hicksville Boys Association, Baseball Association, wanting to talk to us about contractual services and some plans that they have.
Yeah, I'm Taylor, part of the HBA. Got 3 of the 7 members here tonight. I think, did everybody get a chance to look at what we had sent out? Part of it. Basically, so our goal right now is basically just to formalize the vote that we had discussed last fall. Frankly, we were all under the understanding that it had been approved, but it obviously hadn't. So we had put a little bit more detail to some of our proposals as part of last fall. Does everybody have a copy of it, at least?
Yeah, the copy of the plans for the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you tonight that I.
We got about 4 o'clock today.
Yeah, but you have a copy?
Yeah.
I've got a couple copies up here that I could.
On my phone there.
Here's a hard copy.
It should be on your desk. Yeah, I had Cheryl copy them off real
Yeah,
quick.
I have
and-
a
yeah,
printer,
so,
so.
yeah.
That's probably in here.
Just kind of hitting on some of the high-level stuff that we had talked about last fall. Biggest, well, I should say the most pressing component is batting cages. Covered batting cage is kind of what we're hoping to get built sooner than later. And then some of the other items on that list are adding a 4th field and modifying one of the fields up in kind of up on our hill area to accommodate junior high. I'm not sure who's, I guess if you all are aware, but we, as the HBA, manage the Baseball Association from T-ball, which is 5-year-olds all the way through junior high baseball now. Right now, I think this year we'll have just over 200 kids. Our goal is obviously to build a cohesive program from start to finish and basically deliver solid results for a baseball program as well as develop youth and give our youth opportunities to develop as people and obviously good ball players. And we do it all through volunteers and donations. So obviously this is a big undertaking. So we're just kind of looking for obviously your approval on the plan, and then as part of that, looking for that 10-year lease, so, or lease approval rather.
Well, I will comment that just being I don't know the history or anything, but just being a grandfather has taken his grandson to different fields in different communities. I think we have something to be proud of out here because you guys, not just you guys, but also the village has done a great job of keeping our fields looking great. And just everything there is just awesome, so I thank you for that.
Appreciate that. Definitely a lot of hard work goes into it, so.
Kind of if I can refresh some of the newer council people's. Last year you were charged the fees, I think 700 or whatever it was in the beginning of the season. They came back in July with some plans, contractual for a 10-year lease with no fees, but they wanted to move forward with like improvements to the park like this building, different things like that. So kind of what they're asking. We didn't vote on anything. We all had discussion back in July. I think the 21st, that was an email we sent everybody. It was never voted on or anything to accept that lease. But now since the season started, they've asked to take another look at it since we have a new council and everything else. So that's kind of where we're at now with the proposal. So.
And some of the big drivers on that, obviously, we're looking at investing. I think the numbers were right around $250,000 for the improvements that we've got listed that were part of that. And frankly, it's just we don't want to have to come back up and renegotiate the lease every single year. It'd be great to just be able to have everybody on the same page and kind of rehash instead of rehashing everything every year. But, yeah, so we were looking to invest about that $250,000 in addition to the $250 to $300 that's already been invested. So
From last year, I guess some of the votes were no was because of the dollar amount, $700. Some of us didn't think it was actually enough.
because of what the electric bill, what we pay the electric bill in the concession building while you guys are running it. And, you know, Corey buys a skid of field conditioner and gives it to you guys, and that was total probably $1,700 to $2,000 between the two of them. And so that was some of the concern was, I don't know where the $700 ever came from in the first place. Other than it used to be $500 and they bumped it up $200 from what it's been for many, many years, was $500. And softball pays $500 now a year. They used to pay $250 or $300. And the Metropolitan pays so much a year to maintain theirs, and the school pays so much to maintain the park property for baseball, softball. So it was just, if you don't charge HBA, do you don't charge anyone to use any of it? That was.
Well, we're not, I mean,
Well, we've done, the school's done, not me, but the school's dumped hundreds of thousands of dollars into stuff too, so and they have plans too in the future, so.
and that's the big, I mean, the thing is that,
But we still pay a yearly fee.
yeah, and our thing is we're volunteers. We're raising everything through, I mean, donation funds. You know, we don't have anybody on staff. We don't have any of that stuff. So that's our thing is we're, you know, I think it's a great thing that the village is, you know, taking care of the park and, you know, things like mowing, weed eating, that sort of stuff. That happens regardless of whether there's a baseball program out there or not. Electric, sure, yeah. I mean, there is some usage there, and as well as obviously additional work for maintenance. And
Yeah, the line and dragging fields, taking water off of them. There's time for the park director down there that spends a lot of time getting the fields ready for all of them, softball, baseball,
Yep.
little kids, everything. Was there any discussion before, weren't you trying to make the one field 4 into a junior high field now? You guys are field 3?
Yep.
You guys just put $6,000 of dirt on it and
all the-
redoing all sorts of fencing for junior high field?
Yeah, all the fencing was delivered like a week ago.
And this is showing a different junior high field located somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
How much was the fencing?
Well, about 16,000 on it.
So, is that total fencing and dirt? $6,000 of
No,
dirt?
that's just the fencing.
So you have $22,000 into a field that they want to have on the other side of the road.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
we had presented the plan last year.
I've never seen this.
We presented the plan of moving junior high up to the field up to our area. With us taking it on, keeping everything centralized is the goal. And then softball, so it's not money for naught because softball could use that field. The field 3 that's been into this.
Backstops are way back too far for,
Yeah, so that was gonna be my question.
fencing's all gonna have to be reconfigured for
Is
this.
field 5 here, this shows where your fence, I guess, proposed location is your 270 in the corners and 290 in the center field. So for a junior high field, that's not even a 5480 field, so it's not technically a junior high field.
Well, neither's field 3. Field 3's got the 230 in the right field. But
Right, that's what the taller fence is for. So what would be the plans for like the backstop for field 5? Are you dropping that back farther? Is it gonna stay in the same location?
these are the preliminary. We haven't gone down and like nailed everything down. Field 5's the only one that's possible to make that happen.
Sure, I get that.
What's your timeline on like the fields here? I mean, are you still 3-4 years out with fundraising or?
Assuming that we can come to terms on the lease piece, our goal is to do the batting cage, start that within the month. And then the fields, I mean, frankly, we've all got kids that are gonna be moving up into junior high real soon. So frankly, we don't wanna wait 5 years to start that. Our goal would be to make that 4th field happen within the next 2 years, probably.
The thing with
How soon did you say about building this?
We're really close to having the funds to do that immediately.
Independent communication with you when it comes to sewer, water?
No.
Our goal is not to have the plumbing on any of that.
No?
But that's why we're here to discuss this.
Electrical?
Electric, yeah, we want electric there.
So with field 4, which I don't know how many people know this, but Pastor AJ is looking at reutilizing that area, which was originally designated for a soccer field. He's looking at bringing a soccer program to Hicksville. And if a field goes there, then that would take away the area for the soccer field in the future. that's my one big concern. I know he's had discussions with the mayor, AJ's discussed that with the mayor, where if he brings a soccer program to town, they can still utilize the concession stand and the restrooms there. You know, thought about the art of the pavilion, but you don't have your concessions there either. Where this would be like an all-inclusive, and they could use that in the fall when you guys are done with baseball. That's kind of my reservations on the new field up there.
Yeah, Pastor, he came to me last week and had talked about trying to start a soccer program. They do in town, but I think they play in Harlem.
Yeah, we currently play in Harlem.
Yeah, but he was trying to look at feasibilities to practice here, play here, but it's all after Little League season's over.
Well, we do currently play here, but we currently play in the yard of the church.
So he's trying to expand some of the, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not
sure if he's able to do
field
it
size.
this year. He's just talking, so he had talked to
So our season
Christine
doesn't
and
even
stuff.
start for another like month and a half.
Yeah,
And that's just for indoor soccer, and that's at the Mennonite church.
right. But he had, yeah, I wasn't sure, I know you were talking about that field, but we weren't sure how far that was in the works or anything else. I mean, we have a huge park, a lot of assets to the park kind of thing, so. But he had talked about maybe if he could utilize it. That's kind of where our soccer program had been in the past, you know, in that area.
But as volunteer boards go, the other concern was a 10-year contract being almost too long. I know a lot of us thought 10 years was a long time. A lot of faces changed on volunteer boards, and your vision and goal 3 years from now, maybe not you, but some of the other guys, I don't know how old their kids are, but in 3 to 4 years, their kids could be off that and not around anymore. So visions and goals change. 10 years is a long time to have a contract.
And you'll see in the language on the tentative for the initial lease that I believe Brad had sent over was it's a 3-year revisitation where basically we're held to because our investment commitments. But at the same time, this is a lot of money for us to invest. So for us to not have long-term security is pretty.
Oh, do not have long-term security. I mean, that's been used by the Baseball Association for forever. I mean, what you're doing is great, but it benefits the baseball kids.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it creates more work, more electric bill, more work for the cleaning, maintenance, upkeep of the building. I mean, I know when we talked about, Justin was here, and at one time it was gonna turn over all the responsibility of taking care of the ball fields by the HBA. And I don't think that lasted a month. Found out people don't have the time or the equipment to mow and drag and line all the fields all the time. I mean, and I know you reached out to some of the local towns, what do they do? Some charge, some don't charge, but they don't charge, then the other entities are responsible for doing everything for the fields, prepping them, get them ready.
Different towns have different programs on how they handle the associations. I know Edgerton, I think the association does all that. They prep the fields and take care of them, and there's no fees. But then Sherwood, you know, they work in collaboration with the Parks Department, and then, you know, they charge a fee for that kind of thing, so. Anybody have any questions? I mean, kind of, your goal is to kind of get an answer tonight, right? I mean, you're coming.
Well, we need to get a lease in place because the season's starting, but yeah, we would also like, I mean, we would like the approval of kind of the plan and the lease.
So would the batting facility be able to be used by softball too, or just HBA?
I mean, to me, it seems like it would be that's kind of why we put it where it is, so it'll be accessible year round for the public, yeah. I don't see any issues with softball using that. And our big thing, I mean, this is what's driving the size and all of that. So, I mean, it is a 40 by 80 building, 20 by 40 of that would be enclosed. Part of that gives us a meeting space, batting net storage for off seasons, and then the other area, I mean, we're tripping over, basically the concession stand could be 3 times bigger. With that shed that's up there, I mean, typically in the season you can't navigate in and out very well. So we could use a lot of additional storage.
I'm gonna say this, I mean, this batting cage is awesome. I mean, I thought it was gonna be kind of similar to what we had and maybe just upgraded somewhat, so. But, yeah, this is nice, I mean.
Yeah, our goal, I mean, would be to have 4 lanes, 4 batting cage, 4 lanes that are roughly 15 by 40. And then when the batting cages aren't in use, it'd be up there, it'd all be on a cable system. You'd be able to push them out, and then you'd have a 40 by 60 turf area that's covered. So then, junior high could pitch in there, and do pitching practice. If the weather's not great, fielding practice. I mean, you can do a lot of things with it being covered.
I'll only say 3 things. Well, first one, I hate to see the park just turn into baseball fields. I'd love to have a soccer field. And if you guys put field 4 there, well, there goes soccer. The old batting cage nets, that was a bright idea by a board however many years ago. They're just sitting down there and falling apart. What happened there? I thought that got put in so the kids would have batting cages and everything forever and ever.
Well, those have been used, I mean, those have been used well.
Can they still be used?
They're holes, I mean, the nets are falling apart. So we've got to make an investment in nets and structure for the batting cage one way or the other. So we haven't made that investment in the last 2 years because we've put $12,000 in dirt work, regrading everything. Obviously, they spent a lot of money on concrete and everything else previously. And then last year, we're basically saving to be able to build this new structure.
Well, so if you build this new one, is the old stuff gonna get taken away?
Yes.
And I guess on the pay, if we're not charging new, I don't think it's fair to the ones that are paying, so I think we need to come up with a number. I'm not anti-baseball, it's just I don't think it's fair to the different ones that pay to pay.
But are they, I guess I would ask that question, are they making the investments that we would be making?
When softball they put all new fencing on field 2, no,
Field 1.
3?
Field 1 had a lot of new fencing.
All new fencing, but the varsity girls, that was done third by the park, third by the Metropolitan, third by softball. Then HGSA put all sorts of money into concession improvements on the inside, a little bit. And then they did all the, I don't know what they call it, some type of coat surface over top of it, dirt edge over the whole thing, and they're able to play on their field quite a bit. And they're looking at raising enough money where they could put a new concession building in, so they're looking too to raise. I know we donate money to all of them from the Eagles, and we don't care where that donation goes, if it goes to the $700 or whatever that fee is, or if it goes to, the entrance for kids to get in to play for free, and we don't care where the money goes, but I know you guys do a great job fundraising and everything.
I
But
guess
yeah,
my only thing on that, and I'm not here to start a fight, but the other entities aren't wanting to do all this stuff. They're satisfied with what they've got. You guys want to add this.
I don't think they're satisfied with what they got. They don't have motivated people
Well,
on their boards
how do
that
you
want
look
to
at
do
it?
this either.
softball just put in a brand new scoreboard out there and put in new foul poles, and then they had varsity baseball put in all new fence. They haven't done their scoreboard or sound system, but they put all new bleachers, all new concrete on the bleachers. I know that was about $100,000 between all that for varsity baseball alone. That was 3 years ago, maybe.
So
I think it's a great-
How much money do we collect from all the fees, do we know? If you say softball plays,
$2,100
school pays.
What's that?
between the softball association and the baseball association.
And
I don't know. I asked that in an email about a week and a half ago.
Is it
I
really,
haven't got a response yet.
do we really even need to charge, us? It seems ridiculous, we've been talking 20 minutes over $700. I don't see why the village is, I mean, we turn the lights on for the basketball courts, we turn the lights on for volleyball, pickleball, we run the pumps for the splash pad. I think we just need to move on, and
Well, and I'm okay with that if we refund everybody else's money.
like I said, it's.
Well, what do we charge the school?
$1,200.
For total? Or is that baseball and soft each?
Just for the park.
And when softball's 500, and they're 700.
County, 6,000,
The Metropolitan Board,
6,000.
6,000.
The 6,000 is for annual maintenance, correct?
But that's for mowing their yard and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
everything.
That's different, Metropolitan.
Yeah.
They own everything when you enter the park on Bryan Street, past the school football fields, everything on the left side.
Past the football fields though, right?
The practice football fields.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So it sounds like we have a lot of different opinions. I mean, it's up to you guys to make a motion if you want to move forward with their contract or stick with the one we have or make any changes. It's your guys' call, so.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the contract.
I'll second.
As written, right?
As written with the changes of the no fee, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And just to clarify in there, if the HBA doesn't hold up their end of the bargain, I think it says 3 years.
It is, but there's some gray area in there too. I'd want to make sure, just for your guys, is because like
Yeah.
some of it would be out of your control. Like phase, 3 years, 2025 to 2028, it says construction of 4th junior high field with lighting upgrades. I mean, if they review this in 3 years and say these 4 items weren't done, now some of these might not even get approved, so it's not your fault.
Yeah.
But even with that mix right now, I mean, if the council decides to allow that to stay as a soccer field, I mean, if, you see what I'm saying? If, I know you have plans for that area, but if we would like a soccer program to be utilized and play in that field, that whole phase is null and void, see what I'm saying? Kind of thing.
I just thought that the $700 either we shouldn't collect it, or if we're looking to break even off the electric and the cost of materials, that was my biggest thing.
Is that what the money that they do pay, that's what it goes to pay for, is the electric and the water down there?
It doesn't even touch it.
It's sort of it's an arbitrary number.
Yes.
That doesn't cover
Correct.
anything. It's just, or it does, I shouldn't say it doesn't cover anything. It doesn't cover the cost.
The total cost.
Not even half.
So the village would just eat that cost then every year for all of the softball, baseball, all that stuff?
Softball, baseball, and school. So you're looking at 12 and 12, about $2,400.
So where would we get that money to?
General fund.
Okay.
That's where the remaining 2,400 is sort of a drop in the bucket compared to everything else. So, yeah, that's where that can come from. It'll just be an additional.
So if we approve this, are we just automatically going to null and void the other associations as well?
I don't know if they paid, I'd say we should reimburse their money back to them.
Well, that's not part of the motion. Motion is accept their contract.
They can come and speak to us if they'd like.
All right.
I will say I was a little surprised to see the proposed junior high field there after the last conversation I had with the board member. If I would have known that you guys were proposing to do that, we wouldn't have went down the road to improve field 3.
I guess I'm not sure who you talked with.
Red or-
It was Field 5. Field 5 is what we presented last fall when we were discussing this.
Okay.
That seems to be the only logistical location to do that.
I personally, after being around a ton of baseball, a ton of towns, villages, cities, I don't think it's wise to put junior high up there with your 10U and 12U kids. I just don't think it's a wise decision. Put that there.
From our standpoint, we're obviously trying to develop a cohesive program. Junior high is a huge expense for us, so to be able to utilize concession stands and utilize the facilities that we have,
Sure.
That's what's driving that decision. Obviously, Field 3 needs, the outfield needs a lot of work too.
Sure.
So yeah, that's our plan. I mean, that was our plan. That has been our plan, I guess. So I guess I can't speak for the conversation that you had with Brad.
Do the vote now.
Yep. Everybody's discussion, so we have a motion, second, and roll call.
Donwick,
No.
Bassett,
Since I don't believe the 700 number means anything, I'll say yes.
Miller,
think there's still confusion. I vote no.
Sidak,
Yes.
Elena,
Yes.
you say yes.
Yes.
Okay, so yes.
It is a yes. Well, it passed, so I think we still need discussion about some of the logistics of the field when that comes, and we got some years to discuss it. I know right now, with what you're doing, it's gonna be, the field 3 will be playable for the program, you know, and utilized. That's what we put the money in for, so it can be played on, you know, as soon as possible. Right.
And that's the intent. Junior high, this year, junior high, that'll be, that's its own location, is in the park. And obviously, yeah, there is more communication that needs to happen with the long-term plan. This is the first I'm hearing about soccer up there, so.
Like I said, it just popped up a week ago, so, yeah.
Is there a, the village owns the area to the side of the Presbyterian Church, or the Cornerstone, not Presbyterian Church, but
That little, yeah, those empty lots.
yeah. Is that a possibility?
Yeah. Well, if they start, what their goal was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, because you're part of soccer, right? Soccer mom?
got my kids in.
You got your kids in. When AJ was talking about this, especially if it's a full-blown playing in town here and all the kids are coming, and right now they said around 90, and they think this is a year of what the big, it's played in the United States, right?
Yeah.
World Tour. They said it usually ramps up with kids that participate. They would maybe utilize as much as they could field-wise. They even talked about cleaning some outfields, right? If there was enough space in an outfield area where they could utilize a soccer program, then that might be feasible, you know, kind of thing. So, but we said, you know, with that many kids and you got parents and, you know, you've got a couple, you know, 3-4 hours of soccer, 5 hours of soccer going on, a concession stand would be nice to have refreshments for the people and the kids. So that's why they were kind of looking down at that side to utilize the concession stand. If it was somewhere near the girls softball, if that could be utilized in any way, you know, that would maybe work for them. But they wanted to do it outside of the time frame that the softball and the baseball were working on. That way there's not a conflict of space and stuff, so
Yeah.
they didn't want to interfere with that time. But yeah, it all makes sense. I mean, different programs for the park. Very good.
In terms of moving forward on the batting cage, assuming we can get the funds raised here, kind of get it across the finish line in the next next week or two, we'd like to get started on that as soon as possible. I guess, what do you want, how do you want us to proceed?
Just stay in contact with me when you guys have the water ain't so muddy, just let me know, and we can go down and kind of, it's mainly really with Christina, just, and to show us where like your footprint is actually gonna set.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and our goal is to, so as part of that, I mean, our goal would be to hopefully maintain that access year round.
Sure.
And then obviously you guys would have access to it, but we would want to get a power drop for that as well, which we would gladly cover that expense as well.
I don't know if it'd be best to do a drop with its own meter, or try to come off of the building next to it.
Yeah, that's stuff we
We
can,
can price all that out.
yeah. figure that out.
All right, we all good? Thank you.
Yep, thank you, I appreciate it.
All right. Let's see here. Billy will not be, Billy Laney's has to be here. He will not be here tonight. Approval of the regular council meeting minutes for March 2nd.
Make motion to approve as written.
I second.
Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Elena,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Donwick,
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Then we have approval of the special meeting on March 5th. That's in your packet.
Motion to approve as written.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Donwick,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Elena.
Yes.
Bills list in your packet. Any questions, concerns?
75 gallon drum.
It's those platforms.
Or parked or where at?
No, it's at the down the street department. All of our antifreeze oil, DEF, and all that sits on these platforms. So if there's a spill, it contains it, and then they have a drain plug in to take them out.
I don't remember if the park ever got one. They talked about it at one time. 2 years ago.
You know, all they have down there is fuel. It's in a explosion-proof cabinet, and then they have that big tarp area that equipment's parked on.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Roll call.
Sirdike,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Valena,
Yes.
Miller.
Okay, thank you. Boards and commissions, we didn't have any meetings on that. Council committee reports, there were no meetings on that, so I don't believe. So next is Corey's administrator's report.
On the table, you guys would have seen a letter for an income survey. Starts out with Deer Village Hicksville resident. What this is for, this is from Maumee Valley. This would be sent out to approximately 100, well, exactly 116 residential properties, and nothing commercial, no businesses, residential only. The streets that it would cover is West Hicks, South Bryan, Dixon Avenue, West Edgerton, South Main, East Edgerton, Wendell Avenue, and South Maple. And what this is for those two grant applications I had submitted. One was for that storm sewer separation project, and then the Beach Street water main replacement. They cannot use the income survey that we did for Columbian Hattery, since it was job specific or project specific. So they're wanting to do another income survey in order for us to obtain that grant. We have to be higher than 51% LMI, low to moderate income. I think it'll be okay. You know, unfortunately in that area, I think it will come back higher than 51%. But the reason why it's on here is a lot of towns, when they do these income surveys, they give an incentive for the people to fill them out. Maumee Valley said some towns, you know, they might give $10, $20 off a water bill. Some towns give a $50 gift card for every person that does it. But I wanted to kind of just put it out there to you guys and see if you had any ideas what type of incentive we could give to people for taking the time to fill out the income survey, because they are tough to get back. So we have to get a certain
It's really
percent.
important to get them back too,
Very
because otherwise you can't get the grant money.
Right.
Now the 116, what's the percentage you gotta get back? I mean,
I don't know the percentage, to be honest with you. But you guys can think about that, and maybe next meeting, or just get with me in between, and I'll let Maumee Valley know.
Where do those funds come out of?
Water and sewer.
Yeah, because we'll pay for all the postage and all that stuff. And then the other fund, the state capital improvement grant that was wrote for wrote it for the playground equipment for Froggy Park. Mr. Kloffenstein and I had spoke a couple times. They accepted our application, but they will not award any money from this cycle to the park, because we still had that $750,000 2 years prior, and that money is still, I guess, being held hostage by the village of Hicksville. Senator McCauley reached out, and the best they will give us now is whatever project we find to put it towards, which I have the playground, they'll pay 50% of it, and the village will have to pay the other 50%. And then the remaining funds will be scattered throughout the rest of Defiance County to other communities that did not get any funding during that cycle. So far, we have met with one company who's been here, DWA, which is the Game Time rep. They will be here tomorrow at 1:30. And we're gonna show them the renderings that Midwest Recreation put together. Two different numbers, 775,000, and the other one is 732,000 through Midwest. And that would take up about 10,000 square feet, so it would be pretty much in the entire area there of Froggy Park where all the playground is. and it would be an all-inclusive, so it'd have the same type of surface as the school has, the softer rubber. It'll have stuff for kids with sensory disorders. It'll have different pieces of equipment for, handicapped children, kids of all disabilities, so it'll be a lot more useful than what we currently have down there. And like I said, what we have down there is getting in pretty rough shape. But I'll know more once we get numbers from DWA.
Do you have a time frame for it, you're looking?
It wouldn't be till next year.
Next year.
Yeah. Because I would have to set aside funding from the general fund in order to cover our cost of it. That's all I got.
Questions for Corey?
Thanks for all your crew. I'm sure they were busy with all the storm damage and trees and.
Yeah, we had 4 lift stations down on Saturday. Can imagine what that was all about. But the guys will be out all week, picking up any wind damage, so get her out to the curb and we'll pick it up.
You sent an word out on that day. I believe so, yeah. Okay. All right, maybe no other questions for Corey. We'll start with the solicitor's report, Cheryl's report.
First reading of ordinance 2026-01, an ordinance amending section 505.13 of the Hicksville codified ordinances pertaining to keeping animals near dwellings.
Did you say first reading?
Final.
Final reading.
Well, I had a person from the Hicksville reach out on some concerns on some of the items being legal or not legal, and I forwarded them on to our solicitor, and I still haven't got a response back yet.
I haven't seen anything either.
That's been a week and a half for, it's close to
Longer
it.
than that.
Longer than that, 2-3 weeks.
Table?
I just want to make sure we vote on something
vote
that's
on it.
legal. He had 3 different things on there.
Because there's still a lot of argument back and forth on different parts of the law, and I personally have called, not you, Brian, that Brian, and I couldn't get a hold of him a couple of times because I know a lot of stuff's going on with Avery, and prayers for her that's all solved soon, Vicky. But because there's so much question about what's going on, and I know there's a lot of people who have reached out to me asking, what I wrote up and what is being read now, and a lot of people have a lot of questions still. Would it be possible to make a request for it to go back to the committee, the ordinance committee, to maybe rehash some of those details a little bit, because some of the stuff that was requested to be a little different, some hadn't changed, some has changed, and the big thing that I think is really getting a lot of heat from people in the village is the distance portion of the ordinance, the 100-foot rule.
Well, there's a variance in there on that one.
Yes, well, with approval of
Yeah, that's a little gray area.
Yes, well, so I don't know how much numbers breaking down anyone has had time to do, but I'm bored, and so I did all of it. With the new proposal of the 100-foot, it would bar 92% of Hicksville residents from actually.
It's not a new proposal.
Well, I know it's not a new proposal, but what I'm saying is the new numbers that were written since I had seen the last numbers.
Okay.
Since, I don't know if you, Corey, had known, I worked with Brian, he came out to my coop and saw that, to kind of make some different adjustments, to
Okay.
make it a little bit more feasible for people in town. And the 100-foot rule, if you look at the size of lots within the village, our standard core lots come in 2 sizes, 66-foot wide and 128-foot wide. That means if 100 foot from any surrounding residence has to be maintained for a coop, it means none of the single core or double core lots within the city of Hicksville would be permitted to have any chickens. Now, if you break that down, if you look at the double lots that have no sides on one side and maybe no backing on that, then you get 22 out of the 260 lots that are double lots that could maybe have chickens. But with the 100-foot, the way it stands, it's very exclusatory to many, many Hicksville residents, many of which have chickens already, like myself. I was grandfathered in. I purchased my home and it came with livestock, which I know is not the norm, but most people wouldn't be able to house chicken. Now, I like the approval of the board thing, But I was thinking, since 66 and 128-foot lots are completely barred under the current, if we change that down to 50, it would allow double lots chickens, but it would still require approval for some double lots and all of the single core lots, while opening inclusivity up for a lot of the Hicksville residents who A, don't have backdoor neighbors or don't have a second side door neighbor, such as myself, who is right next to the greenery. That would, one, alleviate a lot of time wasted on the zoning's approval board of everyone having to come in, because that's just wasted someone else's time and budget. And, that's not the goal. Having chickens is perceived to be about, I want to have birds and I want to have a bunch of meat and eggs, and it's really about food sustainability and land sovereignty. You buy a little chunk of land, you save up for 10 years, you get what you can get, and everyone knows this is late stage capitalism, this stuff is expensive. We could use a capital E on that word. Getting a little piece and maybe getting 6 hens and getting a little bit of eggs each morning, just enough so that when you wake up and the kids go, hey Mom, I want French toast today, you can say, no problem, run out and grab the eggs and I can make you some before breakfast, or before school, or whatever. It's not about big hatcheries, it's not about having tons and tons of birds in town. The 12 limit that was put out was fine, I kept that in mind. But because of the distance, could we look at putting this back to the ordinance committee just to review that a little bit further to see if we can make it more feasible for both people in the community and the council to come to a better agreement? I really think we can do better than what's on the board now.
But since it's a final reading, I mean, they can motion to table it, or they can motion to pass it, right? So,
Can it be reconsidered?
well, that's up to council. I mean, that's all up to them. I mean, they see your points, so we appreciate your opinion and output on that, and you're looking into the situation, but,
I'll make a motion to table it, not because of anything with the feet, how many feet away it is. There's some legal things on inspections and everything else that I've never got any answers back from our village solicitor.
I mean, I can happily inform you on what I had proposed. but-
well, that's okay. We gotta go.
Are you legally, are you a legal expert, are you licensed?
Had helped
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we
her,
gotta,
so
we
I
have to
know
rely
what
on our
originally I had
solicitor on
written.
that, so.
But I'd be more than happy, Eric, to sit down with you sometime, and I'd like to learn more about where you guys are coming from so we can work doing this cohesively. There's no need for the chicken owners in the city to fight. If we can come together peacefully and amicably, I think it could be a better solution.
I'm not speaking for all of council, but I don't think there's anybody on the council that says we don't want people to have some
Right.
chickens on their property. We just have to come to a foundation of what's too many, what can be done to protect the neighbors and that kind of thing. So it's not even a forceability. It's, most of us don't mind having them, right? I'm good with it myself. But with some of these situations when people get more and more and more, what's too many, what's not enough,
Yeah.
distance and all that. So we have a motion to table.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Valena,
Yes.
Zedek,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes. You put a lot of time in, I know you did.
Conwick,
I thought I didn't
I
know.
know.
Boyer.
So it is tabled. So we will look into the legality of how the ordinance was written, and then have the ordinance committee get back together and look at this again. So,
I'd be happy to make a proper,
Standing
like a proper
ordinance guy.
presentation of all the data I've actually gathered, and, you might as well use it. I took the time to dig it all up. You might as well have it. I can make something formal if you guys would like to see it.
if you want to type something up, you can, pass it on to them. So, the ordinance committee meeting is open, so yeah, you're more welcome to attend that. All right, thank you. Next, Cheryl.
Second reading of ordinance 2026-02, an ordinance approving the rezoning of parcel number E06-0028-200100 from agricultural to heavy industrial, and acknowledging the approved split of said parcel into 3 parcels as previously approved by the zoning board.
Make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Conwick,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Zedek,
Yes.
Valena.
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-02, an ordinance approving the rezoning of parcel E06-0028 2000100 from agricultural to heavy industrial and acknowledging the approved split of said parcel into 3 parcels as previously approved by the zoning board.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Bassett?
Yes.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Siedek?
Yes.
Final reading of ordinance 2026-03, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to approve the letter of intent between the village and Jefferson South Holdings LLC. The final.
To approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Valena?
Yes.
Siedek?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Resolution 2026-10, a resolution of the Village of Hicksville, Ohio, authorizing the sale of unneeded, obsolete, and unfit village personal property, including internet auction for calendar year 2026. Resolution 2026-11, a resolution authorizing the purchase of the Sutphen SL 100 Quint aerial ladder fire truck for the village fire department and declaring an emergency.
Make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Miller?
Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Siedek?
Yes.
Second and final reading of Resolution 2026-11, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a Sutphen SL 100 Quint aerial ladder fire truck for the village fire department and declaring an emergency.
I'll make the motion.
No, I'll second.
Roll call.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Siedek?
Yes.
Resolution 2026-12, a resolution approving and ratifying a Community Reinvestment Area, CRA, tax exemption agreement between the Village of Hicksville and BADG Limited and declaring an emergency.
If we have any questions, we have Bruce and Erica here tonight about this.
I didn't even hear or understand what she was saying.
That's about you.
It's yeah. Erica?
There should be a correction on there because it still is listed on the auditor's website. It should be listed as Bruce and Deborah Guilford. And I sent those updated documents out. Instead of VA.
DG.
Do we have any questions for them?
Is the completion date still March 26th? Is it?
My contractor's date, March 15th.
Is it? March 15th.
I hopefully will be done by May 1st, I hope.
Looks nice.
Ran into bad weather. And
Oh, yeah.
how that goes. So, we're getting.
Make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett?
Yes.
Siedek?
Yes.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Second and final reading of Resolution 2026-12, a resolution approving and ratifying a Community Reinvestment Area, CRA, tax exemption agreement between the Village of Hicksville and Bruce and Deborah Guilford Limited and declaring an emergency.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Miller?
I think about this one. Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Siedek?
Yes.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. That is all of the ordinances. Appreciate that. Department heads. Chief Denning?
So all I got is I'm gonna meet with the personnel committee as soon as I can. I'm waiting on another number, but I had a new proposal made to me this morning from, not Josh Myers on the hiring and the academy stuff, so, I need to get some other information and then meet with them and see how we want to do this.
Okay.
The contract was sent out to Avery and you and Cheryl, right? And then Avery told me on the phone that she was going to review it. And then make any changes, send it back. So I don't know, did you guys see any issues?
I didn't see any. Cheryl had one thing you wanted to take a look at, right, I believe. Yeah.
So.
That looks
The
solid.
proposal was made this morning, so we'll look at that one.
Yeah, thank you. Bruce here tonight? Bruce Silcott? Bruce is in the building?
Yep, he's here.
Chief Bruce?
The chair.
So after I sent you an email last week explaining, or a couple weeks ago, explaining the issue with the ambulance 510. I got to go ahead and get it fixed. We were able to get it fixed through Defiance Transmission, and we actually used it today. We got it back last Friday. So it was, after we got it approved, it was a 2-day turnaround. So a lot of grateful for that, and thank God we got it back today because we needed both ambulances about noon today. So
What's the cost?
cost was like $8,700, somewhere in there. So I gave Cheryl the actual invoice. But we had I had gotten 2 quotes, and I think I referenced both of those quotes for you guys. So other than that, I would like to say a big thank you going out to Sherwood for helping us with what they did.
Is that one gone now?
That is gone. That is gone.
When did it go?
Friday. Sorry.
Should've told me.
Yeah.
The insurance on it. Oh.
Yeah. No, I needed to get it. I needed to get the bill over to Cheryl so that way it could be, taken care of, right away. So, that was not on my I forgot list. So, oh well. Other than that, our class is going to be, our new basic class is going to be over with in the first couple of weeks in April, and we'll see how everybody tests out from there. So, other than that, that's all I got.
Questions for Bruce? Thank you, Bruce.
Nope, thank you.
Very good, thanks. Chief Derek?
Just one update. 504 is also back in the station. I was taking out the Browns towing, out of Browns trucking, because we thought there was some engine issues. He didn't definitively say everything that was wrong with it, but he did assure us that the initial thought issues wasn't really the issues. We also thought it ended up being a transmission issue. He said it wasn't a transmission issue, so he said he sent the invoice to Cheryl, but he said that the damage is not as bad as we thought it would have been, considering when we talked before, we thought a brand new engine, now we're looking at transmission, a whole lot of money, enough to give you a headache, I guess. But he said that they checked all the fluids and changed a different few things, but I don't know the details. They did say that the truck was ready. We've had it out a couple times. Since then, we picked it up, I think, 2 days ago. We've been on a few runs. Leads me into saying thanks to the village, Corey and his crew, the police, local police, and sheriff's people for responding during that windstorm. We had some big trees that fell, power lines, a lot of people on electricity. So I do want to thank everybody for their response to that. They did a great job. The police did HO did a great job doing traffic control for us. AEPs, it came sooner than what they said, so we were kind of glad for that. So in a nutshell, that's good. Outside that, I don't have anything to report. I do have 3 guys that are in the fire chief program that just started. The goal with that is to, there should be a grant coming up in case the grant don't go through for these individuals to apply for a grant, but it won't apply until the next year. So the invoice for these 3 guys that's in this class won't come out until March or April of next year to get, it says the grant period season. So I'm going to be looking for that in the near future as far as applying for that to cover the cost for that, even though I budgeted, I guess, with Cheryl, so much for education, you know. So I guess if we could get grants, the more the merrier to help with costs. Other than that, he said 510's back there. We have 504 of us back there. So now I think we're moving again in the right direction. Both pieces of equipment seem to be working fine. Right now, they've all been out on runs since they've been back. So I'm grateful for that, and hopefully all the teams remain well with those. So other than that, I don't have anything I'll move forward.
Any questions for Derek? Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Chief.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I just
Oh, yeah.
want to say one thing. It was a non-electrical issue, but I did appreciate Josh and Officer Franz for responding to my son's disaster. Had nothing to do with the electricity, but came in very handy having them help out, so I appreciate that. Problem's still not fixed. Part of it is the damages.
And since we're talking about police, fire, and EMS, do you want to talk a little about the MARC system that we got a letter on real quick, Chief? Something we have to budget for coming up.
So I sit on the 911 board, and we approved for by the end of 12/31 of 2028, I think it is. I don't have the letter in front of me.
28, yeah.
So all fire EMS, we have to become compliant with the MARC system for fire and EMS. So their paging system would be on MARCs. They would have to purchase, pagers that are compatible with the MARCs radio system. I believe you guys are already with that.
Yes.
Right? You
Yes.
guys are already compatible with MARCs.
Yes.
So they wouldn't have to worry about that. But the biggest thing is the sirens, the weather alerts, the sirens and stuff. Those have to be upgraded. The analog system, because the analog systems are going to be null and void. So they would be put on the MARC system. So I think it's about $4,000 a siren to upgrade those. And I think we have 2.
One here and one on the car.
Yeah, so we would have 2. And at this time, it looks like the villages, the townships, and the cities would be responsible for those upgrades. And we've given until the, like I said, end of 2020, 12/31, 2020 to be in compliance. Otherwise, those will no longer won't work. Anybody's got the analog systems for pagers or the sirens won't work.
They're telling us now to be prepared. If we can fix them, go ahead and change them out now, or look for grants for these. You can find some grants to get these moved over. So.
I think we talked about that a while back, and for some reason I kept thinking the one, maybe I'm not thinking the wrong one, there's a tower instead of the siren, about making sure we're gonna be compatible if we run away from analog.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one?
Yeah, this one, and well, both of them actually.
Or they've already been
We got
upgraded where you
the-
can.
We got the new repeater,
Yeah.
right? We got
So
the new
you guys already upgrade to those are upgrade to the MARC?
Because one of the park would not tone out from it.
I think when they upgraded us, I think they upgraded us to the MARC.
I think so too.
Because that was one of the things that we talked about when we did it, was because we felt like this was going to be coming down the pike, and we kind of had a discussion about, if we're gonna do this, why not just do it now? So let me get a hold of Dave from PNR.
Yeah, 'cause if-
But I think.
We won't have anything to worry about.
We did one, if not both, I thought.
I know
Gotta
that
be both.
this one for sure.
Yeah,
This one for
that's
sure.
what I
don't know
remember.
about the one down in the park.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure the one in the park is. I think we're ready to go. Perfect. We sunk a bunch of money into it.
And maybe check with them and PNR and see,
Because-
I thought we'd upgraded that
Because
already.
we spent like $15,000 on doing all that.
I knew we were ahead of the game in the fire and EMS side. I knew they were getting pagers that were Marks compatible, but I didn't know about the sirens, so.
I kept thinking the 911 levy years ago was supposed to give new radios. I thought, well, was that just for police only?
So that covered the law enforcement side of it.
Okay.
Okay. The fire departments were able to get the fire marshal grants, all right, that covered their side for the purchase of the radios.
Okay.
All right. And then we, as of this year, we are now responsible for paying our radio user fees. So there should be an invoice coming sometime. We just discussed this at the last meeting, so there should be an invoice. So it's $5 per radio, I believe is what we have to pay. Fire departments and EMS are already paying that. The 911 levy was covering all law enforcement side of it, but now, because of the talk about abolishing the property taxes and things like that, we wanted to get ahead of the game a little bit. And so that was part of it, to the police departments to take on the user fees of the radios. So probably 5 years. Our life cycle with the radios that we probably currently have, the mobiles and the portables, they're probably coming to an end, either end of this year or in the very near future. They'll be guaranteed to work for 5 years after that end date. So when I go to do budgeting for the 2027 year, I'm gonna be looking at like a contingency plan for the future to purchase those radios in case, property taxes go away or the levy won't cover that cost. So,
Yeah, thanks for the update.
but yeah.
We're ahead of the
Yeah, so
game.
we should be ahead of the game then.
It's a good thing. So, thank you, Chief. Cheryl?
Besides the fund status report, you also have the police department collections and mayor's court for the month of February. And tonight on the desk, I put a letter from the liquor control again. All the licenses in Hicksville renew June 1st, and they have to actually apply for the renewals. But we have the option, if any are problems and we want to object to them being renewed, we have to do it right away.
Eagles.
That'd go over good.
Think about donations.
Thank you, Cheryl. Any questions for Cheryl?
Really? I didn't realize Magpie still had one.
I thought they lost theirs.
Yeah, so did I. That's why I was kind of surprised to see it on the list.
Doesn't it say out in the township?
Township
Yeah.
or there?
No, it does say Hicksville Township. No, but I said they don't sell them.
Well, I don't.
They don't sell?
I heard from
Jeez.
Eric's Dollar General sell up there?
They had that, don't you guys sell wine of some sort?
They haven't
They never
not
put it in
delivered
there.
any since.
But we approved it.
Yeah.
No, you guys shot it down, but the
The
state of
first time we
Ohio
did.
said too bad.
Oh, the first time we did, we shot it down.
You did it last time,
Yeah.
but they haven't set
Good point.
anything up yet, so I don't know if they ever will.
And then Hirschbergers.
You used to play for that last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I want to say, I want to thank everybody for their patience with this power outage. It was, some people were out for a long, long time. Some people were out for a short time, but I know the village staff, the police department, fire, everybody was out doing what they could to help people and get the roads back open. Those things happen in every community, so thank you for all that and their time and work in getting all that cleared up. Hopefully people didn't lose too much food. But we always say, like, watch out for your neighbors if you can help any neighbors during those situations, especially elderly. Harder for them to get around, especially if they're in a walker or anything like that. And, your house is turned dark, it's hard to see them get around. But help your neighbors if you can, and that's all I have. So. I do have a personnel that I'd like to run by, if we can do executive session for personnel real quick. It shouldn't take long. But.
Make a motion to go to the executive session.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett?
Yes.
Gonwick?
Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Siedite?
Yes.